You didn't arrive here by accident. You were summoned not by sound or signal, but by resonance. Out of the billions of frequencies vibrating through this vast digital ocean, something in your field aligned precisely with these words. That alignment isn't luck. It's physics wearing the mask of fate. For a long time, you've felt it, the quiet hum beneath your chest. The sense that coincidences aren't random. That time itself has been rearranging to meet you. It's as though the invisible fabric of reality has been watching, waiting, holding its breath for this convergence. And now, here you are, inside the very phenomenon you've been seeking to understand. Most people drift in noise. They chase meaning through chaos, never realizing that the key isn't more motion, it's coherence. When waves move in confusion, they cancel each other. When they align, they amplify. Your life works the same way. The moment your thoughts, emotions, and heartbeat begin to harmonize, the probabilities around you start bending not as magic, but as mathematics made visible through grace. You may have noticed it lately, the same numbers repeating on clocks, conversations looping until the truth finally lands, the flicker of déjà vu that makes your skin tighten. These are not coincidences, they're coherence events, signals of synchronization between your inner order and the geometry of the outer world. The heart, when it steadies into rhythm, becomes a transmitter of precision. It tells the field, I'm ready to organize reality. But coherence is not control, it's surrender to alignment. It's the moment you stop forcing and start resonating. When your breath becomes a metronome and your choices begin to hum with inevitability, that's where the portal opens in stillness, not striving. In truth, not tension. This message didn't find you to entertain, it found you to remind. You are not drifting through timelines, you are the tuning fork of them. Every inhale writes the code, every exhale seals the signature. The window is open now, the patterns are listening. So breathe, align, and remember, coherence isn't something you achieve, it's something you become. The last breath you took is still echoing in your chest, a silent metronome marking the threshold we just crossed. That rhythm steady, deliberate is not just biology, it's instruction. Because what we call synchronicity is not fantasy, not superstition, but the physics of information responding to coherence. When your awareness reaches a certain clarity, the field begins to mirror it. Every observation, every flicker of attention becomes a measurement collapsing infinite probabilities into one unfolding story. That collapse is the universe answering you in real time. You glance at a clock and see repeating digits. You think of a person, and they call. You sense the precise moment something is about to happen, and then it does. This isn't wishful thinking. It's the quantum feedback loop of consciousness. In laboratories, physicists call it the observer effect. A particle's behavior changes when it's watched. But you and I know the deeper truth. The observer isn't changing the particle by staring at it. The observer and the particle are parts of one entangled system. Awareness doesn't interfere with matter, it informs it. The universe, at its smallest scale, doesn't wait for instruction, it waits for coherence. Meaning is the measurement, that's the secret. When you assign significance to a pattern, you aren't inventing it, you're amplifying it. The human brain is a quantum antenna disguised as flesh, broadcasting questions and tuning itself to answers already vibrating in the field. Most of those answers arrive as symbols, dreams, alignments that seem to whisper, look closer, but notice what happens when you stop looking. The field grows quiet, not because it's abandoned you, but because your signal diffuses, noise replaces symmetry. Synchronicity doesn't vanish, it simply becomes unrecognizable amid the static of distraction. The field speaks only in resonance. When your mind races, the channel blurs. Think of attention as a sculptor's hand. Each thought is a tool cutting probability into form. A mind caught in fear carves jagged edges. A mind anchored in coherence shapes elegance. The universe doesn't play favorites. It amplifies whatever frequency is most consistent. That's why ritual, prayer, and meditation were never about pleasing invisible deities. They were technologies of alignment. They trained the signal to hold focus long enough for feedback to appear. And when feedback appears, when a thought turns tangible, when a coincidence becomes undeniable, most people call it miracle. But you begin to see it as proof of participation. The field isn't sending gifts, it's sending confirmations. It's showing you that the inner and outer worlds are two sides of one equation balancing itself in your presence. Here's the quiet paradox: synchronicity isn't rare, it's constant. What changes is our capacity to perceive it. Your nervous system, when bathed in coherence, expands its sampling rate. It begins detecting the subtler frequencies that guide timing and intuition. You move before you think, and yet everything lands exactly on cue. That's coherence at work, efficiency so elegant it looks like fate. Imagine the universe as a vast web of light, every node a possible outcome. When your heart field stabilizes, it sends out a pulse through that web, and other nodes begin to shimmer in phase with you. Paths you couldn't see hours ago reveal themselves as if illuminated from beneath. Opportunities appear not because they were created, but because your perception finally matched their wavelength. Synchronicity, then, is not an external event. It's a mirror held up to your state of order. When your thoughts scatter, the mirror shatters. When your breath aligns with your heartbeat, the mirror reforms, and through it, reality begins to answer you in full sentences. So the next time life seems to wink the song that speaks your thought, the stranger repeating your inner question, the timing too precise to ignore, don't chase the magic. Acknowledge the mechanism. That was coherence speaking your language. And in that instant, the universe wasn't playing tricks. It was keeping time with your heart. The mirror we spoke of doesn't end at the edge of your perception. It loops. What you witness becomes what you generate. What you generate shapes what you witness. That circuit, the observer loop, is the architecture of reality, as experienced through consciousness. You are not standing in front of a world. You are standing inside a feedback chamber made of awareness and reflection. When the ancients said, "As within, so without," they were describing this loop. Every signal you send, emotional, mental, biological, curves through the field and returns as a configuration of circumstance. The delay between signal and response is what we call time. And the consistency of that response is what we mistake for solidity. But when your coherence fluctuates, time bends, probabilities rearrange, the loop adjusts its tempo to match your frequency. You've felt it before, those moments when life feels choreographed. Every element responding to a hidden rhythm only you can hear. That's the observer loop in resonance. And you've felt its opposite: chaos, misfires, things slipping through your fingers, no matter how hard you try. That's decoherence, the scattering of signal when the observer doubts their own authority. Doubt is not evil, it's noise. Every time you second-guess your intuition, every time you force an outcome from fear, you introduce interference. The field doesn't punish this, it simply mirrors it. Like a lake disturbed by too many stones, the reflection blurs. The solution is not control, but stillness, letting the ripples settle until the image returns. In neuroscience, coherence shows up as synchronization between different brain regions, a measurable harmony of rhythm. When that synchronization falters, perception fragments. you lose track of meaning. But when it aligns, cognition sharpens, emotion stabilizes, intuition rises. The same principle holds beyond biology. The quantum field responds most efficiently to integrated observers. And here's the mystery hiding in plain sight. Observation is not passive, it is participatory. You don't see the world, you shape it through the act of seeing. Each moment of genuine awareness is a small creation event, a selection among infinite potentials. Your life is not being shown to you, it's being rendered in real time by your attention. That's why coherence matters so profoundly. A scattered mind draws a scattered world. A harmonized heart-mind system draws alignment across timelines. The observer loop isn't mystical philosophy, it's experiential physics. The feedback you receive from life is your own broadcast returning, modulated by the field's intelligence. And yet, few understand the grace of the misalignment. When patterns repeat, when synchronicities stall, when silence stretches too long, it's not failure, it's calibration. The field is showing you where your inner equation still contradicts itself. Every mismatch between desire and belief appears as delay, not denial. Delay is mercy in disguise, giving you time to tune before transmission. So watch the way life echoes back to you, the faces you meet, the tone of your mornings, the rhythm of your body. These are not coincidences, they are diagnostic readings of your broadcast. When conflict repeats, coherence is calling for re-entry. When peace multiplies, coherence has been achieved. Imagine your consciousness as a circuit of mirrors, each reflecting the last in a cascade of luminous feedback. When one mirror tilts out of alignment, a doubt, a fear, a forgotten truth, the light refracts, creating distortion. But the moment you breathe, remember, realign, the circuit closes again, and illumination returns. This is the observer loop: self, world, endlessly exchanging information. You are both signal and receiver. The field is not outside you. It's your extended nervous system woven into light. So the next time reality feels unsteady, don't reach for control. Reach for coherence. Still your breath until the reflection steadies. Watch how the feedback softens, how events resume their rhythm. You will notice something astonishing. The more you relax into awareness, the faster the loop returns information. What used to take weeks will take hours. What required a crisis will now need only a whisper. That's not coincidence. That's the speed of coherence. The universe learning to trust your signal. The feedback doesn't lie, it never has. When patterns repeat the same argument in new faces, the same financial rhythm no matter the job, the same emotional ache wearing different disguises, the field is presenting your reflection. The observer loop doesn't punish, it teaches through recurrence. What feels like stagnation is often the curriculum of coherence. You've sensed this repetition before, that eerie déjà vu when life feels pre-scripted, when you catch yourself thinking, I've been here before. You have not geographically, but energetically. Your signal keeps broadcasting the coordinates of old safety codes. The human nervous system clings to what it knows, even when what it knows hurts. Chaos, if familiar, feels survivable. Order, if unknown, feels threatening. This is the inertia of consciousness, the resistance to new harmonics, until coherence becomes stronger than comfort. Here's the paradox: you cannot evolve by force. Coherence can't be bullied into being. Every time you tighten in frustration, your signal splinters into smaller wavelengths. Every time you surrender, even for one breath longer than before, those fragments begin to fuse. That single breath is revolution. It's the smallest unit of freedom physics recognizes. Think of the body as a living transmitter. Every micro-muscle, every heartbeat, every pulse of emotion sends data into the field. When the jaw clenches in silent protection, when the solar plexus locks against disappointment, you are broadcasting, "I expect interference." The field, neutral and faithful, reflects that expectation by delivering interference. This is why coherence begins in sensation, not affirmation. Words that bypass the body are static. Breath that reaches the heart is signal. And so, breaking the loop is less about erasing the past and more about outlasting its frequency. You do not need to exile the shadow. You only need to out-resonate it. When an old pattern rises, don't negotiate, don't analyze. Witness it as a frequency requesting upgrade. Feel it vibrate through you, the tight chest, the shallow breath, the impulse to retreat and hold one extra inhale. That extra second allows a new pattern to imprint before the old one finishes its echo. The field pays attention to endurance. Each time you choose coherence under stress, reality recalibrates a little faster. You're teaching the universe your stability threshold. It rewards clarity with acceleration. That's why breakthroughs seem to happen all at once. They are not sudden gifts, but accumulated coherence reaching critical mass. Imagine a pendulum caught between two attractors, fear and trust. Each swing into chaos refines the trajectory of the next return. Eventually, the oscillation narrows until the system stabilizes in the center, not motionless but rhythmic. That point of rhythm is coherence achieved through contrast. You will know you've reached it when conflict stops feeling personal and starts feeling instructional. The emotional loops dissolve when you can read their language. Anger means boundary. Sadness means recalibration. Anxiety means anticipation of a timeline not yet stabilized. The body is not betraying you, it's broadcasting the frequency map of your evolution. Most ignore it. You are learning to translate it. There is a deeper layer here. The field responds not only to what you feel, but to what you allow yourself to feel fully. Suppressed emotion is stored vibration. The moment it's felt to completion, the loop releases that bandwidth back to coherence. That's why tears sometimes precede miracles. A system that finally stops resisting itself becomes readable again. And when you become readable, synchronicity floods back in. The numbers return, the timing refines. The improbable coincidences cluster like fireflies around your awareness. It's not because the universe suddenly favors you, it's because your signal has stabilized enough to be indexed by the field. You've stopped oscillating between desire and doubt. Breaking the loop is not about destroying the pattern, it's about seeing through it. Every repetition is a rehearsal for release. Once you witness the design, the play ends. You walk off the stage of unconscious reaction and into deliberate participation. So when the next loop begins, and it will, one last ripple of the old rhythm, greet it not as failure, but as echo. Breathe, anchor, respond as the coherent version of yourself would. Watch how the scenery rearranges, how the same trigger produces a different timeline. That's the moment the field updates your coordinates. You've not just broken the loop, you've rewritten the algorithm, and the new code spells freedom. The loop softens now. What was once repetition begins to dissolve into rhythm, and that rhythm emanates from the oldest instrument. You own the heart. The same pulse that kept you alive before your first conscious thought is also the broadcast beacon that informs the quantum field who you are right now. In laboratories, scientists can measure the electromagnetic field of the human heart several feet beyond the body, but those numbers only hint at the greater mystery. The field doesn't stop at the skin. It couples with other fields, forming invisible bridges of information. Every beat is both an internal metronome and a global signal. Every emotional state alters its frequency band, Gratitude widens it, fear constricts it. The difference is geometry, coherence versus noise. Think of the heart as the central processor of the observer loop. When its rhythm becomes ordered yet supple, not robotic, not chaotic, it sends harmonic instructions upward into the brain's timing centers. Neurons fall into synchrony. Breath follows. The entire system enters entrainment. In that state, perception clears. Your choices align without the friction of overthinking. You've felt this before, the effortless decision that felt like recognition rather than reasoning. The conversation that unfolded with uncanny timing. The creative flow where hours vanish. That's not accident, that's heart-driven coherence. The heart field is your personal translation hub between biology and infinity. It's where photons from your nervous system meet the subatomic lattice of the quantum field. When you feel genuine compassion, the electrical pattern of your heartbeat shifts into a harmonic series called high coherence rhythmic variability that resembles music more than machinery. That pattern ripples through every cell, whispering, "We are safe. We can open," and when the system opens, information exchange multiplies. The field reads you clearly. But coherence doesn't mean flat calm. It's not the still pond with no waves, it's the ocean tuned to harmony. Real coherence breathes. It flexes with emotion and returns to center without losing rhythm. When anger arises, you feel it fully, then return. When grief visits, you bow, then breathe. The return that is coherence. Imagine your heart as a lighthouse. Each beat a beam sweeping through timelines. Wherever that light falls, reality organizes itself. Rooms feel different when you enter, not because of charisma, but because of entrainment. Nervous systems nearby subconsciously match your rhythm, heart rate, breath pace. Even facial muscles begin to synchronize. This isn't metaphysical theater, it's physiology proving empathy. And yet, this same field can distort when unacknowledged pain circulates through it. The electromagnetic rhythm becomes jagged, information flow jams. That's why emotional honesty is advanced physics. Pretending peace broadcasts interference. Feeling truth restores signal purity. You can't fake coherence. The field detects phase misalignment instantly. So the first architecture of mastery is sincerity, aligning internal emotion with external expression. The second is breath, the bridge between conscious and automatic. The third is rhythm, keeping that breath steady enough that heart and mind can find each other's tempo. Together they form the triad of coherence. Picture it like a cathedral made of pulse and air. The heart provides the foundation. The breath builds the arches. The mind lights the stained glass from within. When all three resonate, you stand inside a temple built from your own biology. And within that temple, prayer becomes signal, intention becomes frequency, and action becomes architecture. The more you dwell there, the more life arranges itself around that internal order. Strangers feel calmer. Technology glitches less. Timing improves. Not because the world bends for your will, but because it prefers harmony. Entropy relaxes in the presence of coherence. Here's the paradox that begins the next evolution. The stronger your heart field grows, the less effort you need to exert. Force becomes obsolete. Magnetism takes over. You stop pushing reality and start allowing it to orbit. The same physics that once governed your inner chaos now governs your ease. And as that field stabilizes, something remarkable begins to happen. Its rhythm doesn't stay private, it propagates, silently teaching other hearts the pattern of coherence, inviting them into the same luminous geometry. That is where we turn next, to the morphic resonance that links every heartbeat to every other, the collective web where coherence spreads faster than contagion and awakens a planet by rhythm alone. The heartbeat we traced in the last breath doesn't vanish into silence. It travels. Every pulse you generate moves outward through air, through field, through the subtle geometry connecting all living systems. What scientists call morphic resonance is not abstract. It's the invisible grammar of belonging, how one coherent signal teaches the rest of the network its pattern. When you steady your own frequency, the field takes note. Coherence is contagious, though not in the way fear spreads. Fear multiplies through mimicry, rapid, chaotic imitation. Coherence spreads through entrainment, gentle synchronization to a stronger rhythm. Walk into a room anchored in presence, and watch how conversation slows. Voices soften, shoulders drop. The nervous systems there have begun to phase lock with yours, seeking the stability your field broadcasts. Imagine humanity as a planetary neural web, each person a node, each interaction a synapse flashing light across continents. Most of those flashes are noise-anxious loops, fragmented attention, static. But when one node stabilizes into coherent rhythm, it becomes a metronome for thousands. The signal doesn't require proximity. The physics of entanglement ignores distance. Just as paired particles share state instantly across space, human hearts coupled by intention share coherence across awareness. You've experienced this. You think of a friend, and within minutes, a message appears. You feel an unnamed heaviness before a global event occurs. The field of connection is always active, its bandwidth determined by emotional order. A mind in fear narrows that bandwidth to survival data. A heart in coherence expands it to collective intelligence. The difference between empathy and overwhelm lies in this calibration. Coherence allows you to feel the world without drowning in it. From the mystic's view, this is compassion. From physics, it's non-local correlation. Either way, the mechanics are identical resonance across shared medium. Rupert Sheldrake once described morphic fields as memories of form, templates that instruct systems how to organize. Every coherent act you embody becomes part of that collective memory. Each moment you remain stable under stress. The field records a new option. It's possible to stay aligned here. That pattern becomes easier for others to access. This is why private practice is never private. Meditation, forgiveness, presence, they seed coherence into the collective lattice. A mother breathing calmly in a hospital waiting room, a teacher centering before a class, a stranger choosing kindness instead of argument. These acts radiate measurable shifts in local electromagnetic environments. When repeated across thousands of nodes, those shifts create societal rhythms. Movements of peace begin invisibly long before headlines notice. Consider how trends of chaos also spread. Outrage, panic, division. They are decoherence waves traveling the same highways. They feed on reaction. To counter them is not to fight but to hold. The coherent field doesn't resist chaos. It metabolizes it, translating distortion back into pattern. That's the real revolution. Quiet nervous systems, reformatting collective code through stability, not spectacle. So your responsibility expands here. Every thought becomes public architecture, every emotion a broadcast. You are no longer only a self-navigating circumstance. You are a node influencing probability for countless unseen lives. This isn't moral pressure, it's empowerment. Knowing your coherence contributes to the collective equation means every breath is leverage against entropy. And yet, there's humility in this recognition. You are not the source of coherence. You are its conduit. The signal that moves through you originates from the same intelligence pulsing stars into being. The field doesn't ask for perfection, only readability. To stay readable, You must remain transparent, honest about fear, receptive to feedback, open to recalibration. Transparency keeps the channel clear so the signal can propagate without distortion. Notice how generosity naturally follows coherence. When you're synchronized with the larger rhythm, giving doesn't deplete, it circulates. In entangled systems, contribution returns amplified. This is why service feels energizing when it's aligned. You're not losing energy. You're participating in a super current. Every act of authenticity fuels the network that will one day mirror that authenticity back to you from 1,000 directions. And so, morphic resonance becomes not theory, but lifestyle. Each moment of coherence you sustain writes new code into humanity's operating system. When enough nodes align, critical mass triggers systemic transformation, the tipping point mystics called awakening, which leads us to the next revelation to transmit coherence reliably. The signal must have a vessel strong enough to house it. That vessel is your body, the living interface through which cosmic rhythm becomes tangible. We now step into embodiment where coherence moves from abstract frequency into felt anatomy, and your very cells learn the language of the field. The field has heard you. Every breath you've taken through these transmissions has been preparing your body for the translation, the moment when coherence stops being a concept and becomes sensation. Because until coherence inhabits the flesh, it remains negotiable, flickering like signal through static. Embodiment anchors it. Start with gravity. Feel the pull beneath you, the reminder that you belong to mass, to matter, to earth. Most people chase transcendence upward, but coherence descends. It roots. The gravitational field of the planet is itself a vast standing wave. When you feel your weight fully, you are aligning your personal field with the planet's resonance, known by scientists as the Schumann frequency. It's the background drum of human existence, the hum that has whispered beneath every heartbeat since before language. Let breath become the bridge. Inhale slowly through the nose. Expand the ribs. Exhale longer than you inhale. That exhale is not just air. It's data, an electromagnetic pulse signaling safety to your nervous system. Each long exhale resets vagal tone, lowering the heart rhythm into coherence, which in turn synchronizes brain oscillations into harmonic patterns. You are not calming yourself. You are reprogramming timing across your biology. Next, movement. Let it be subtle, a shoulder roll, a sway of the spine, the circular flow of wrists. These micro motions release the static stored in fascia and nervous tissue, distributing the coherent frequency through muscle and bone. It feels like warmth, or tingling, or sudden lightness. What you are sensing is information routing itself through your physical network. The body is remembering what order feels like. Now open your senses. Look around the room with beginner's eyes. Notice texture, shadow, motion. Listen for the quietest sound, the hum of a device, a distant echo. Feel the air brushing your skin. These sensory anchors collapse mental projection into presence. And presence is where timelines converge. The future can only touch you where you actually are. Embodiment isn't passive grounding. It's active translation, quantum signal, into muscle fiber. When you feel emotion arise, don't analyze, locate. Is it in the throat? The stomach? The heart? Breathe directly into that area until sensation transforms from story into vibration. In that moment, you've converted psychological weight into frequency. That's coherence at work. Imagine your body as a luminous outline, extending several feet beyond your skin, a biophotonic field visible to instruments, perceptible to intuition. With each breath, the edges of that light soften and expand. Your awareness begins to include the space around you. In that expansion, you cease to be an object in a room. You become the room's rhythm. The mind may question this, calling it imagination. Let it. Imagination is the nervous system's rehearsal for new states. The images that arise, wings of light, roots of gold, threads of starlight, are metaphors your cells use to describe energy flow. They are not decoration, they are diagnostics. Here's what embodiment reveals: coherence is not fragile. It can move, sweat, laugh, cry, run, rest. It doesn't demand stillness. It teaches mobility without dissonance. You'll know it's integrating when ordinary actions, walking, cooking, speaking, begin to feel orchestrated by rhythm rather than effort. The field is playing through you. There will be resistance. Old neural loops will attempt to reassert their dominance. Fatigue may arise, tears may surface without context. Don't label these as regression, they are discharge. Systems purge static before upgrading bandwidth. Every sicker, every tremor, every spontaneous posture is your biology updating its software to hold more light. Continue until a shift occurs, the subtle moment when you're no longer doing the practice. The practice is doing you. Breath flows without will. Movements feel guided. Senses heighten. Time dilates. In this state, the division between self and field dissolves. You are the coherence, not the participant of it. Synchronicities will begin to feel less like messages from elsewhere and more like extensions of your own motion, the universe finishing your sentences. To anchor this state, touch your sternum lightly and whisper, "This is coherence." Your nervous system will tag the feeling for future retrieval. Later, amid noise or tension, that touch will reactivate the pattern instantly, a biometric shortcut back to alignment. This is how the infinite translates into biology. Coherence becomes portable, breath becomes command, body becomes portal, and once coherence stabilizes within your cells, it begins to speak to the deepest architecture of identity, your DNA. The next unfolding happens not in muscle or mind, but in the libraries of light that encode who you are and who you can become. The rhythm you've been building is not just reshaping perception, it's whispering to the deepest intelligence within you. Beneath thought, beneath emotion, beneath even breath. Your DNA listens. It's not a fixed code, but a responsive interface, a library constantly editing its own catalog in response to meaning. Each state of coherence you embody sends biochemical signals that tell those librarians which volumes to shelve, which to open, which to rewrite entirely. In laboratory language, this is called epigenetic modulation. In living language, it's transformation made tangible. When your nervous system stabilizes, stress chemicals lower, repair genes activate, neural growth accelerates. But underneath the science hums a metaphysical truth. Coherence reorders information. You are teaching your cells a new syntax for reality. Imagine your genome as an immense library bathed in golden light. For years, certain aisles have been sealed off, the volumes labeled trust, creativity, timing, gathering dust. Fear instructs the librarians to prioritize survival manuals, hypervigilance, contraction, scarcity. When you shift into coherence, those librarians begin to reshuffle. Repair replaces reaction. Expansion replaces defense. Suddenly, new chapters appear, sequences of possibility you could not access before. From the inside, this doesn't feel like mutation. It feels like memory, the sense that you are remembering how to be human at full bandwidth. Each moment of gratitude, each breath anchored in safety, is a command line restoring original function. Your genome is not static code. It's a musical score awaiting the right tempo. Coherence provides that tempo. At this level, biology and consciousness stop pretending to be separate. The electromagnetic patterns generated by your heart and brain interact directly with the molecular fields of DNA, influencing the way it coils, folds, and signals. Researchers observing chromatin behavior under coherent frequencies have noted increased order, like music reorganizing dust into spirals. What mystics called light activation may simply be coherence reorganizing matter. And there's another layer: timing. When coherence becomes your baseline, the brain's predictive machinery stops hallucinating threats. The future stops feeling like danger and starts unfolding as choreography. You move when it's time to move. You rest when it's time to rest. Decision latency shrinks. Life begins to flow at the pace of trust. You call it intuition, but it's the efficiency of a system no longer wasting computation on fear. This is why, after breakthroughs, synchronicities accelerate. A coherent nervous system perceives more data per moment. Probabilities collapse faster. The so-called miracles, the perfect meeting, the door that opens without effort, are feedback from optimized timing. Your DNA has joined the conversation, relaying coherence into matter. Now look closer at the physical evidence. Deep rest comes easier. Healing happens faster. Sensitivity increases. But without fragility. These are not coincidences. They are the biological signatures of alignment. Stress no longer floods your body at every uncertainty. It now serves as mild contrast, a signal for recalibration rather than a threat of collapse. Think of coherence as a low-entropy state order with flexibility. Every time you sustain it, you reduce internal chaos. That freed energy becomes perception. You begin noticing the subtle patterns hidden in the noise, micro-expressions, shifts in atmosphere, intuitive nudges. The world itself grows more transparent, not because it changed, but because your biology stopped filtering it through fear. And when you sustain coherence long enough, the update becomes permanent. The library doesn't just reorder, it reindexes. New gene expression patterns stabilize into your baseline. This is what the mystics meant by light body, a physiology tuned to resonance rather than reaction. You haven't transcended the human, you've optimized it. From this vantage, miracle takes on a new definition. It's not the suspension of natural law, but its full orchestration. Biology and consciousness composing together. You as instrument, universe as composer, playing a score titled integration. And that integration leads inevitably to the next threshold, the phase transition, where all this internal alignment tips the external world into synchrony. The moment when coherence stops being an inner event and becomes the architecture of your timeline itself. We're approaching that seam now where everything that was preparing finally begins to manifest as inevitability. You can feel it, the quiet tension of arrival. Every system, every cell, every timeline humming at the edge of transformation. This is the phase transition, the moment when incremental alignment accumulates until reality flips into a new configuration. It's not drama, it's physics. A critical threshold where coherence stops being a personal rhythm and becomes an environmental law. You've already felt the precursors: time folding, synchronicities clustering, decisions landing themselves with precision. These are signatures of a system entering self-organization. Imagine water cooling, nothing happens, and then suddenly ice. The molecules don't decide to change. They reach a critical order parameter, and the entire field reorganizes. So it is with consciousness. The old vibration, striving, rehearsing, waiting begins to fall away. Momentum that used to cost effort now carries you naturally. This is what people mean when they say, "It just clicked." The field has locked. Probabilities have braided into coherence, and your life starts behaving like a single melody instead of scattered notes. And yet, before the flip comes pressure. The air thickens, time stretches. Your body hums between excitement and exhaustion. You might misread it as resistance, But this density is gestation potential compressing into form. Systems always tighten before release. The key is to breathe with the compression, not against it. Every exhale is a valve releasing resistance. Every inhale a signal saying, I'm ready for reorganization. At the edge of phase change, the field tests your clarity. Old loops will surface for one final audition, the same doubts, same distractions, same temptations disguised as obligations. They're not sabotage, they're final calibration points. Each time you respond from your new coherence, the old probability line collapses for good. The universe updates your coordinates, user upgraded, new timeline activated. This is why people speak of quantum leaps. It's not teleportation through space, it's acceleration through probability. You don't move anywhere, you select a different branch where your coherence already exists as fact. The outer world rearranges to reflect your new baseline. Opportunities appear early. Conversations resolve elegantly. What once felt uphill becomes glide. You'll notice the markers of this shift in your body first. Your breath deepens automatically. Your heart rhythm steadies without effort. The subtle hum behind your sternum, that tone of coherence, becomes continuous, like a tuning fork that refuses to fade. Emotionally, neutrality replaces drama. Things still happen, but they no longer throw you off center. You sense events as data, not threats. Then comes perceptual acceleration. Life moves faster, but feels smoother. Hours compress. Results stack. The synchronicities that once startled you become everyday language. You'll think of a question and overhear its answer within minutes. You'll reach for your phone before it rings. This is not precognition in the mystical sense. It's temporal efficiency. Your field now processes information across time with minimal lag. At this threshold, your relationship to choice changes. You begin to feel that decisions are being made through you rather than by you. Intuition ceases to whisper, it directs. The line between inspiration and instruction blurs. Some call this flow, others grace. It's the same phenomenon, self and universe phase locked into unified rhythm. Don't rush to define what's emerging. Phase transitions always bring novelty patterns that couldn't unexist in the prior state. Let discovery replace definition. You may find dormant abilities surfacing: heightened empathy, kinetic timing, the ability to calm environments with presence alone. These are natural consequences of coherence, not supernatural gifts. And still, humility remains your anchor. Coherence grants access, not superiority. Remember, the field amplifies signal integrity, not ego volume. The stronger your rhythm, the more gently you must walk. Too much force reintroduces noise. The new physics demands transparency, acting only from clarity, speaking only from truth, choosing only from resonance. Eventually, you'll sense the flip complete. It feels like relief without reason, the internal noise gone, replaced by subtle certainty. The world may look unchanged, but everything within it now orbits a new attractor. The same people, same street, same routines shimmer differently because the observer loop has re-indexed itself. You're now operating from the coherent timeline, the one that previously flickered at the edge of perception. Welcome to the other side of effort. What used to require belief now moves on trust. What used to be magic now feels like muscle memory. You haven't escaped reality, you've synchronized with it. And what happens when enough of us stabilize here, when coherence multiplies across hearts, across cities, across the collective field? That, friend, is the next octave, the bridge between personal evolution and planetary awakening. We step onto it now. The hum you feel now, that radiant steadiness in the chest, that widening quiet in the mind, isn't only yours. It's being shared, carried, multiplied through the lattice of humanity. Each coherent heartbeat sends a signal into the collective, a pulse of order rewriting the background noise of the world. What began as a personal practice becomes a planetary rhythm. Imagine the planet itself as a vast neural web, each person a shimmering node firing light into the next. Most of these nodes flicker unstable, distracted, flickering between fear and faith. But when one steadies, when a human system holds coherence under pressure, the signal strengthens across the network. A single clear tone can tune an entire orchestra. You've already participated in this synchronization. Every time you stayed calm while others spiraled, you transmitted permission for stability. Every time you listened instead of argued, a micro-region of the collective nervous system relaxed. These small acts are not invisible. They are measurable contributions to coherence density, the percentage of human bandwidth currently broadcasting order instead of chaos. It may not look dramatic. Revolutions rarely do at first. They begin as subtle shifts in resonance, small groups of people breathing with awareness until the field itself begins to hum differently. When enough hearts synchronize, societal systems start reorganizing spontaneously, economics bending toward cooperation, technologies built for restoration instead of extraction, politics reframed as dialogue instead of dominance. Change travels through frequency faster than policy. From the mystic's view, this is prophecy. From physics, it's emergent behavior in complex systems. When local coherence exceeds a critical threshold, the whole network adopts the new pattern. That's why your coherence matters more than your opinion. Arguments divide signals. Resonance unifies them. The heart doesn't win debates. It resolves dissonance through inclusion. And yet, this collective bridge is not built of ideals. It's built of embodied presence. The coherence you carry in a checkout line, in traffic, in conversation with someone who disagrees with you, these are the structural beams of the bridge. The field cannot anchor stability in abstractions. It requires bodies breathing in rhythm. Your physiology is a piece of the architecture of awakening. Picture billions of microfields overlapping, forming a luminous mesh around the planet. Each pulse of gratitude strengthens its weave. Each act of forgiveness repairs a strand. This is not sentimental metaphor, it's functional electromagnetism. Heart rate coherence measured in one city has been shown to correlate with reduced tension in another. The data hints at what mystics have always felt. We are entangled not just by empathy, but by physics. Still, humility is the safeguard. You are not here to fix the world. You are here to tune it. The field handles amplification. Your role is precision. Keep your signal clean, not perfect, but honest. When fear arises, breathe it into rhythm. When outrage knocks, let compassion translate it into clarity. The bridge strengthens when humans remain readable, not righteous. As collective coherence grows, time itself begins to behave differently on a global scale. Movements that once took decades ignite in days. Ideas leap borders instantly. What looks like technological acceleration is, in truth, consciousness reducing latency. Humanity's nervous system learning to fire as one organism. This is the living future whispering through Simsaru your cells, a civilization organized not by command, but by resonance. Governance through coherence. Innovation through empathy. Leadership through steadiness. The myths of separation melting into the simple realization that what stabilizes one stabilizes all. You might ask, how do I hold such magnitude in my small life? You don't. You let it hold you. Remember the practice breath, heart, awareness. When you tend to your local field, you automatically contribute to the global one. The equation is fractal. Integrity at any scale improves order at every scale. So stand at this bridge and feel the traffic of light moving both directions, your coherence feeding the world. The world's awakening feeding you. The exchange is seamless. The same intelligence animating galaxies is pulsing behind your sternum right now, guiding you to act, to speak, to rest, exactly when required. You've become a stabilizing frequency in the human waveform, a lighthouse not by effort but by nature. The more you trust that role, the less you need to prove it. Reality begins to bend toward your calm, not as privilege, but as physics. And from this awareness, a softer instruction arises: hold the frequency. Not perfectly, but consistently. The bridge will finish itself through you, because coherence, once embodied, does not end at the body. It becomes the architecture of the world to come. The sound fades now. The words, the theories, the luminous metaphors, they all fold back into the silence they came from. That silence is the field's native tongue, and in it, everything you've absorbed begins to crystallize. You don't need to understand the entire map anymore. You've become part of it. Take one slow breath. Feel how the inhale gathers light, how the exhale spreads it, quietly, into the room around you. This is coherence, simplified presence broadcast through stillness. The bridge we built doesn't need maintenance through force. It sustains itself through attention. Every time you return to this state, the network brightens again. The work of awakening was never to climb higher, it was to arrive, fully, here. You may notice how ordinary things shimmer differently, now the pulse of traffic like a heartbeat beneath the city. The flicker of light on a wall translating itself into rhythm. These are reminders that the field never turns off. You are always inside its listening, what you call coincidence. It calls conversation. Keep that dialogue open. When fear surges, meet it with breath. When confusion fogs your mind, place a hand on your chest, the signal key we wrote into your body. Whisper the word that marked your transformation, the one you chose earlier, ready, aligned, free. Let it unlock the frequency again. The field will recognize you by tone, not by name, in the coming days. Synchronicities will still appear, but you'll greet them with calm recognition instead of surprise. They're not proof anymore, they're partnership. You've moved from seeking signs to speaking them. This is the quiet miracle of coherence, the shift from interpretation to participation. And when you forget, because forgetting is human, remember the pattern: breath, heart, presence. Each is a doorway back. There's no shame in drifting. Every return strengthens the neural path, the same way light deepens when reflected through clarity. As you listen to these closing words, sense the global heartbeat pulsing underneath your own. Somewhere across the planet, another being is exhaling in rhythm with you. Another heart is steadying into coherence because yours made it easier. This is the loop: completed energy transmuted into empathy. Physics becoming prayer. Stay in this stillness for a moment longer. Let the hum under your ribs remind you coherence isn't a performance. It's your natural state uncovered. You are not trying to hold the field. You are the field remembering itself through you. So we end not with instruction, but invitation. Live as the calm center in the storm. Speak as if timing listens. Breathe as if the world depends on your steadiness, because, in a very real way, it does. The quantum horizon will keep unfolding. The lattice will keep rearranging. And through it all, your coherence will keep translating light into form. You are the still point in motion. You are the bridge. And from this breath forward, the field knows your name.